G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an FN 502 pistol. This is a Belgian-American made firearm. It's a pistol chambered in 9mm in real life, just using the 38s here because of approximation. I think that's fine. Don't want to craft a whole bunch of bullets for this thing exclusively, so a good choice there. And it's got some custom sounds and animations. There's not much else I can actually tell you about this weapon. Other than when I googled FN 502, I found a site that was selling them, so I'm probably on some sort of watch list for this guy's getting firearms on the government. So if the government are watching this, I don't want to buy this thing. I'm getting a Scar H. Anyways, so we'll get into the attachments. And first of all, we've got the receivers. We can push that all the way to advanced for the most damage there. That's what we'll do. They're actually the same as the 44 Magnum things there. Nothing to increase crit damage, unfortunately, which might be useful for a weapon with a pretty low damage number, just to extend that damage out per shot a little bit. Right now we've got a heavy barrel. We can have a balanced, or you can have a light barrel, which will reduce your range and reduce AP cost. So if you want to use this thing exclusively in VATS, you'll find there's a lot of options that will actually reduce your AP costs, and this is no exception. We're going to leave this for a heavy barrel because we'll get extra range out of it. And pistols, although Gunslinger does get you extra range as you go on, I want as much range as I can possibly get for a weapon like this for its tiny, small, little barrel. And we'll grab an extended quick magazine there for faster reloads and better capacity. And for the sights, it's got a little rail here somewhere you can use. I think it's actually just a little insertable. There's a couple of screws there that looks like you can chuck the reflex sights on, and there's a whole bunch of them, including Leopold Delta Point. A lot of them are really compact, tiny little baby reflex sights which fit well on a pistol, so you know they're all a little bit interchangeable to me. But if you've got an Aimpoint Acro P2 in real life, well, you can have it in Fallout 4 as well. Isn't that nice? And right now we've got a thread protector on the muzzle. You can chuck a muzzle brake on this. The compensators will reduce your range despite increasing barrel length, I suppose, somewhat. And you can also have a suppressor on this. We're going to have a suppressed one for sure, so we'll use that for now. And a legendary effect is there available. Potentially explosive would be fun with a certain ammo type that we're about to go through. Not now, later. You can have some flashlights and or laser sights on the bottom of this, also both of them, laser and flashlight options. Versatility, you love to see it. Let's go for that one. And next up we've got this attachment point, which will change the tritium in the glowing iron sights. Now we're not using any of these at the moment, but should you want to utilize yellow tritium glowing iron sights, then you can do that. Obviously the reflex sight is going to make it completely worthless, but we just got 2 Idiot Savant procs in a row just for changing the glow sights over. I guess that's the game laughing at me for doing that because I've got a reflex sight on, but don't worry about that. Now I've got a green laser sight dot, or a full, or in red, or you could have it completely off. Funnily enough, it will give you a negative AP cost for the active beams, which is interesting. Let's go for a nice green one. I wonder if that reduces your detection or increases your detection rate, because if it did, then I would be pretty interested in seeing how that would go. Right now we've got a factory trigger. You can have a lightweight one, which will increase your fire rate, and also have a match grade one, which I feel like belongs in barrels, but it's in triggers. Match grade trigger, I don't see how that'd make the shots better for critical placement, but we're going to make this one shoot a little bit faster. We'll grab a match grade trigger on a different 502, I think. And right now, here we go. This is where we get into the ammo types. So this is just standard, and they'll never use anything but the 38 rounds that are loaded in this currently. But you can have high velocity, which reduces your damage but increases range and accuracy. Really good for using VATS over a bit of range. Hyper velocity, which is that, and with even more range and accuracy, but you're costing yourself quite a bit of damage. Now, armor piercing gives you armor penetration in the cost of a little bit of damage, so better against armored targets, but against softer targets you're going to actually lose out. Flechette is a couple of projectiles. Don't ever use shotgun pistols, because just the way the damage resistance and all of this works, you'll find that it'll just be inferior. Unless you put legendary explosive on it, then go right ahead. You have a little explosive pistol shotgun thing. It's cool. Close combat is interesting. You'll cost yourself a whole bunch of range, but give yourself a whole lot of damage just sitting under 200 just. Incendiary is interesting too because it gives you the Skyrim flame damage there. I'm guessing it'll set targets alight for extra damage as well, but under normal circumstances, enemies don't resist this type of damage. That's just free damage, and you'll also get some fiery effects with your bullets. Irradiated just gives you the irradiated legendary effect, only really good against humans, which are susceptible to radiation. That's literally the only enemy type that is. Even synths, I think. Actually, no, courses, I think, have rad resistance. Well, they should, because they're courses, they're designed for it. And subsonic is an extra damage, but reduced range, slightly the same as the close combat, except the penalties are a little bit less. So let's go close combat here. I mean, we've already got the suppressor on anyway. We're cutting this thing's range off by a little bit, but I'm kind of baited by this big old damage number here. And you can change the materials to a two-tone FDE, full FDE like you've seen before, or an all-black, which is, I think it's fitting for a suppressed version, so we'll have this all-black. And you can also use a damage slider here, so you can have up to plus 100 and down to negative 50%. Funnily enough, if you equip the negative 50% without the suppressor for Ace Operate, if you've got that equipped or have that ability, and use the flechette rounds, your damage thing just disappears. It's funny. I'm going to show you. Hang on, I'll be right back. Whilst I'm grabbing myself another FN502 to show you this funky little thing that I'm about to pull, you'll find this thing on a chemistry workbench under weapon FN502, and you can craft it for literally 0 requirements except for these materials. 66 damage, possible Star Wars reference. Okay, so current receive is factory. The current rounds loaded are flechette, and if we go ahead and get this extra damage slider down to 50%, it actually just reduces it. It removes a damage card entirely, so I guess that just means it's doing 0 damage now. Which means we can just, like, poke and annoy Tammy all we want, and she is not going to care in the slightest. Okay, so here we are outside of the immersive Gunners Plaza. It's about 10 AM, so the sun's not going to be blocking our view. The reload animation looks like that in first person. In third person, it's a cool, you just sort of just throw the mag out to the side and don't even worry about picking it up. Even if it is like almost full of bullets there. There's a bashing animation, and when you put it away, you'll tap the little safety before the weapon goes bye-byes into your hip holster where you hold the large irons. Here is another one that I made without a suppressor. It'll sound a little bit like that, and it'll look like that. So this one's got that muzzle brake thing on it for controlling recoil. And then I got this one, which looks basic, but believe you me, it's explosive with flechette. So, you know, we're going to pull this out in particularly hazardous situations, I think. But for now, we'll just get started with this little pistol here. And honestly, I feel like the plan today to take Gunners Plaza with a 9mm pistol is ambitious, but we'll have to see how we go. And we're getting sneak criticals for 90 all the way back here. So yeah, having the rounds made for close combat is definitely not helping us there. Perhaps we need to go inside and sneak with this weapon, James Bond style with the suppressor. But we'll try to get some work done here. And if we actually close the distance and just spam all of the bullets into their collective heads, I think we're going to be pretty good going here. And if we get back into caution, I don't think those guys are aware of me. Although, knowing our luck, we'll probably not even get that many sneak criticals anyway. We should probably just switch over to something like this. This one has no suppressor, it's got a whole bunch of range to it, and it actually feels like it does okay damage. For a pistol like this, doing this much damage, I think is pretty nice. That's an MG42. Let me just poke around this corner here before you can get that many shots on me, and you've got a gas rifle. Oh, lucky you. Not anymore, however. That one goes down. I think the Sheila next to her just picked up that gas rifle that she just dropped. Or did she? No, she didn't. Oh, no, that's the Creation Club chick. Let's use this thing a little bit in VATS, because I'm getting tired of aiming by myself. Let's let the game aim for me for a little bit. Probably should have dropped a critical there. Well, we'll make amends by dropping one now. Yeah, thanks, Vats. Much appreciated. And before you can get that shot on me, hopefully we'll get that. Okay. Honestly, it's pretty normal. That's an instigating Gauss rifle. Well, good thing I wasn't full health then, hey. And now we've got a bunch of gunners running up to me from here. So I'm going to try to sweep around here. Maybe we can reset ourselves a little bit, get ourselves back into a position where we're not going to get shot at by like a billion dudes. But I think we're actually ready to go into Nerd Rage now. So we'll swap the magazine and we'll blast away. And maybe a bash kill there. Very nice. A very timely way to get that critical for the bash kill, I think. But now we've got to play in super conservative mode because we don't have the staying power to fight anymore. We are slipping out of danger, so we'll pop down here. We'll stick to the shadows for now. And we'll see what we can come up with. We're back into caution at this point. Honestly, the tactical decision of putting a suppressor on a weapon with such close quarters rounds, oh boy, that was close. Also, notice how those bullets would be coming 90 degrees out of that barrel. Actually, we're getting 400 now, so we must be just in range for this thing, which is very convenient indeed. I think there's someone right up there. I might just want to readjust my position here. Again, we'll try to keep in the shadows a little bit. That's not where I wanted to go. The combat music has stopped, so I guess the heart rate is down a little bit, and we won't be able to peek that. Now they're telling me I should have stayed in bed. Look, everyone likes to sleep in, but I've got work to do. There we go. And we need to just sort of just bring it back. Just bring back the caution for a second. There it is. Take out that gunner. I think we might be ready for a Nerd Rage bout again. Not quite, but it's a target-rich environment, and I'm still in caution somehow. It's all about staying in the shadows, because direct sunlight, it's killer. Not only will it burn your skin, it'll get you detected by bloodthirsty mercs to fill you up with lead fairly promptly. And I'm getting 600 damage for a weapon like this. That's actually pretty good. Now, I'm guessing all these guys have, the pathing, here, they're sort of funneling here, which is fine. That's actually... Okay, we've actually leveled up after that, so I guess the assault is back on. It might not be if that guy gets his way. I saw that MG42. But, yes, the pathing there I don't think is fixed for that particular bollard that's there. They'll tend to walk through that, just nonchalantly, by the way. Alright, time for a little bit of gunfield action. That should be you dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 crits for you, I think. We'll start off with a critical here, just to seal this deal here. I think I'm being... There's someone shooting behind me. I'm being lit up by a giant German machine gun right now. Now, luckily for me, I can't get exploded, and my limbs can't get crippled, because we're just built different like that. But we're going to have a little bit of trouble dealing with that gunner. In fact, I totally just missed her before, apparently. Just, I thought I got her. Maybe there was another one that just sort of flanked around. Anyways, if you're keen to throw explosives at me like that, let's see if you can't take in what you dish out, huh? Okay, maybe that gunner up there was not the MG42 dude, but regardless, they're dead. And now, I get to use the cheese grater because, well, we're grating cheese here. I'm going to spam mouse button 1. I've set this pistol up to have the highest rate of fire so I can get as much explosive damage out there as possible, and all of your legs are crippled, so, you know, bad luck, mate. You had a good run, but it's over now. Missed that baseball that he threw at me. Good pitch, but I don't think you'd make the Boston team, mate. Not in your state, anyway. I want to go to Fenway Park one day. I reckon that'd be awesome. And there's a bloody another MG. Just got MGs coming out our ears today. We can't walk 2 meters at Gunners Plaza without tripping over one of the bastards, but now we get to spray the ground and watch everyone die, so this is going to be the bit you've all been waiting for. Here we go. I saw an ant, maybe there's a spider down there, and I think I may have just seen and a 502. No, that was a Gratch. Never mind. All right, so that's it for Gunners Plaza. We're looking okay. Classic holstered weapons work with this thing. I couldn't tell you that it's a big iron on your hip. Maybe with a suppressor it gets to more big iron territory, but for now, maybe we'll call it the subtle iron on your hip. Small iron just makes it sound weak, when really I don't think it is. Okay, so I've switched to the dead of night. Hopefully you folks at home can still see. But the reason I did this is because, honestly, we'd just be here all bloody day shooting this guy with this pistol. So we're going to get the sneak criticals happening here, and we're going to get them done real good like. And I'm thinking we'll just hip fire this guy all the way to death. You're okay? That seemed to be a pretty slow response. But look at the difference. If I was shooting at this guy at this current state, that's also 1,000 damage per hit. Really? I didn't turn AO detection off. T detect. Now it's off. Now I've switched it on again. So I guess this is sneaky. Alright. I guess with most suppressed pistols, their power comes from VATS usage and stealth, just like you'd see with the Deliverer. And to some extent, the 10mm pistol, although you can make that thing automatic, which increases its DPS by a substantial amount. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I guess we'll shoot one more monster with the explosive rounds. Okay, our next and last victim is going to be... what's he called? Rogezilla, I think. Now, this guy starts off as friendly because you spawn right outside the vault and he'll just attack you right away. And I feel like we're going to get a little bit more damage than what we're seeing here. Little bit. Not too much. But we are shooting it fairly slow comparatively to what we're doing. Also, Winter's helping. Hello, Winter. Don't steal the kill from me. Whoops, I blew up the car there. I actually threw you off the... You okay? Yeah, she's fine. Only problem is that might completely mess up her pathing because she's... Yeah, we're not taking prisoners with rad roaches, Winter. But glad to have your help. And speaking of Winter, I've been developing a voice pack for her. It wasn't hard. You just need to get a little application called VA Synth. The voice actor synthesizer, and it gets a voice profile. You just input lines, and obviously there's a lot of inputted lines for things already. And this rad roach, okay, that'll lure him in surely. His pathing will be fixed by that mess up of dropping down the fence when I didn't need to, right? Just kidding, I'm still up here. What are you gonna do now, buddy? Oh, he can reach, the little bastard. Winter, I need some fire support, please. So, her voice lines will actually sound, like her Brotherhood of Steel voice that she uses, which is... Which, for reference, sounds like that. It's Ashley Williams' voice from Mass Effect. It was very deliberately chosen. But if you talk to her, she'll actually, like, talk. It sounds a little bit robotic, but let me tell you, it's hard to get it sounding right. I worked pretty long, but you talk to her.
Who are you?
And then you can say, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? The wasteland is a dangerous place. This area is somewhat safe by comparison. I've been able to acquire supplies that will make surviving easier.
Yeah, you'll find that a lot of these lines are just, they're, like, the pronunciation of just some words just doesn't work.
I'll be going now. See you around.
But some of them come out pretty well. And the player voice lines aren't mine, by the way. I need to get a better version of the Nora voice. I think out of all the lines I put together, this is my favorite from Winter.
No, I just found them outside of Vault 111. That place honestly gives me the creeps.
Kimberly Brooks has a sexy voice. Anyways, regardless of that, a little bit of an Easter egg if you happen to be watching this particular video. That there was an FN 502, a tactical pistol with a laser sight and a reflex sight and a suppressor. I've had fun with it. I think it's a very high quality product. The reload animations are nice, the sounds are good, and the weapon is powerful enough that I actually don't think it's too bad to use, even in bullet spongy, very hard difficulty, with 1,000 angry gunners shooting at you with giant German machine guns. It's somehow held its own after all that. So I would highly recommend this thing. Check out links in the description. If there is an Xbox port, I'll be linking that too. I don't know if Arden likes to port stuff onto the Xbox, but I'll try to get to him if Xbox players are interested in seeing this thing in their game. And that's about it for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys.